From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work. We will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims. Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. I decided to have my cup of joe with you guys this morning. We have some new information on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He disappeared from his home on February 26th and has not been seen or heard from since. I hope everybody is having a great Friday. TGIF to all the beautiful people here on TikTok. And it is such a great relief. Many people were asking for reward money. Not only did reward money come in, but reward money that will change people's life, make people talk. And then to double it, we've got Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat that are joining forces and coming in to help in this case. One is well known in media. That is Nick the Hat. He's been around the block a time or two, had, original media group and what have you. And Dwayne Chapman, a.k.a. Dog the Bounty Hunter, which we all grew up watching him and his beautiful late wife, Beth Chapman, which is a major idol of mine. And the reason why I never changed Delilah's name when she came home with me, because Beth's dog was named Delilah. So there's a lot here. I'm so happy that we truly do have somebody that has hunted people down, searched for people, found escaped inmates, somebody that knows what they are doing, not these wannabe internet PIs. This is the real deal. Dwayne Chapman, a.k.a. Dog the Bounty Hunter, is now officially looking into this matter, bringing national attention back to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' name. People have gotten crazy on these platforms, spreading a whole lot of misinformation. And the facts of the case, while not a whole lot, they are substantial to what we know. So it's nice to hear. I know Nick has been on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, and has been coming out explaining that, social media has fumbled this case, absolutely fumbled this case. And I have to agree. And that's what I said. When we had Cavalcanti was on the run, and social media joined forces to capture this man, apply pressure to law enforcement to get this man behind bars immediately. It took 2 weeks, but there's some prisoners out there that have been on the run for a really long time that we're not a privy to. They don't tell us. And this man was captured within 2 weeks and sent back to where he needed to be. I am on my Samsung. Apparently when I drink my coffee, it likes to cover my face. So we're flickering on and off. Good morning, Lisa. It's nice to see you. All the people that are joining us today. So Sebastian has not been seen or heard since allegedly walking out of his home. There has been some questions about the scent and the scent dogs and whose scent they were following. There's been questions as to why he hasn't been seen on any video. Questions about where could he be? Is he with some family members? Is he at a facility? Is something more going on here? We have our opinions, speculations, criticism about the whole host of things. One thing I'm learning from Nick the Hat, at least on his latest post, is that the FBI is basically leading this investigation, which it contradicts everything that we've learned. But we had to ask ourselves, why is the FBI putting up a $50,000 reward for a missing person? The FBI typically is a resource for counties. They're not really, putting up rewards. They have, but they're not accustomed to putting up rewards for missing people. So this makes my head kind of turn. And of course, I went to see any commentary Jennifer Coffindaffer had to say about this, because let's face it, she's a former FBI agent. She was training. She might have a little insight on why this reward was offered by the FBI. Leaving to my brain's telling me that there's probably more involved here, that maybe they have some state line issues. Is it possible that Sebastian went over state lines? Or does it just need to be the suspicion of him possibly going over state lines for them to be involved? But to lead the investigation, I would like some more information on that. We do have a search that's going, that Terry Lynn, she's a YouTuber. She's been searching in the woods for quite many months now. I don't agree necessarily 100% with all of these creators, but I definitely support as far as their commentary and stuff like that. But anybody that's going to get out there and really put shoe leather work into a case such as this, they have to be applauded. They have to be recognized, whether or not we agree 100% with their commentary or criticism or anything like that. And Terry Lynn is going to be setting up and scheduling for September 14th. So it seems like you guys got a week. If you guys want to go out there, please get a hold of Terry Lynn. You can find her on YouTube. She is the one that's scheduling this. My only request is if you go out there and try to help, please make sure you check in with her, but also check out with her. She's very, mindful. We don't want to leave anybody behind. She's done multiple searches in the past, so I think she's got it. But that's what there's been some searches where people forget to check out and they just get in their cars and leave. And, it makes you question whether or not they're out of the woods, right? You don't want to leave anybody behind, and you want to know if there's somebody needs some assistance. So if you do go out there, please consider checking in with her and checking out. Of course, you're not required to work with any search efforts or anything as individuals. You can go out there all by yourself and search if you so choose. Just be very careful, and please use the buddy system. We're on the campaign of clearing Seth. Seth Rogers is the biological father to Sebastian Rogers, and he's been the only family member that's been in the spotlight searching for his son, really turning over every single rock and stone he can find to locate his son. He doesn't care how his son comes home. He wants his son home. He wants his son home yesterday, and he has really been the driving force behind all of this information related to Sebastian. He's been the one behind the scenes, making sure his son stays front and center on national platforms as well as social media platforms. He really has been trying. He's the only one that passed a polygraph test publicly on the Nancy Grace show, and he's the only one that really has a confirmed alibi, not just I was home alone in bed sleeping. He's the only one that was on film at his job and was actually working during the times that Sebastian could have gone missing. So this is, in my opinion, Seth's saving grace, because so many people have come out and attacked him. And I can't imagine if this man's alibi was I was home alone sleeping, because if he wasn't at work, that's exactly what he would be doing. So I feel like God's hands in this. I think a lot of our prayers have been answered when we found out that Dog the Bounty Hunter is coming in. Not that he has anything, but he brings in a lot of national attention. He brings in a lot of worldwide attention and media. He has a proven record of finding people. We've watched him for years and years and years. And so this is really, we were praying and begging for a reward. Sumner County for a long time really didn't want a reward. And then boom, the FBI brought in a power reward of $50,000. And Dwayne and Nick the Hat matched that. And now we have $100,000 that blossomed pretty much overnight. And so we have this huge, massive reward that hopefully will elicit some real legitimate leads, nuggets of information law enforcement didn't have. If anybody is out there, thank you. Thank you. God bless you. If anybody is out there, if you saw something, maybe it didn't need to be out of the ordinary. It just was unusual. Like it didn't happen. Like if you have things that happen, you have your day, you have your routines every single day. You get up, you get dressed, you go to work, right? On your right way to work, it's the same drive to work every day. Was there something out of the ordinary? Do you drive at night? Did you see a parked vehicle there? Did you see a parked car, an SUV, a pickup truck? Did you see something that that didn't really shock you or make you think another thought, but now looking back, might be some information? That is what, oh, thank you. Hey, Chasen, it's nice to see you, my love. Good morning, good morning. Those are what we're looking for. Do you have, maybe somebody told you they know somebody that did something and told that person, and that person told that person, and that person told that person. If you can source where it came from, or you heard something, call it in. At this point, it's all hands on deck. It's been over, it's almost coming up to 7 months, y'all. In about another 20 some odd days, it'll be 7 months since this child disappeared from his home. And there's no information anybody has from his mother, father, anybody, law enforcement, that will help or aid into the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers. Law enforcement is befuddled, if you will, about not being able to locate a scent and, not being able to find out what direction Sebastian went in. But at the end of the day, we have Dog the Bounty Hunter. We have Nick the Hat on the case. We have $100,000 reward. This is life-changing money. $50,000 reward was life-changing money for people like me and people like you. Now it's $100,000. You can buy a flipping house with $100,000. I mean, I just want to put this, in perspective. If you have a lot of money, $100,000 is still a lot of money to people that have a lot of money. It's even more to people that don't. So if you have any information that could lead to the whereabouts of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, please reach out. We're looking at where, what, now, how, why, when, and who. Do you have any information that'll answer any of these questions related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? If you do, you're asked to call the Memphis FBI office. If you don't want to deal with law enforcement, great news. That's what Dog the Bounty Hunter here is. That's what Nick the Hat is. Go to that flyer. Reach out to that phone number. Reach out to that email. And give them your lead or your tip. Right now, this case is literally filled with so much drama. That is one of the reasons why they stepped in. One of the things that I heard on a live from Nick the Hat is that social media has fumbled this case and littered it with misinformation. Can any of us disagree with that? We keep to the facts on the Bullhorn Betty channel. However, we do opine, theorize, speculate, commentate, and of course, criticize. Because I do have some questions when it comes to the practices of the actual investigation when this boy disappeared. According to the National Centers of Missing and Exploited Children, fingerprints are needed. Turning the home and the child's bedroom into the crime scene is the best practices. According to everything that I know, I don't know if that happened. We have not been able to get a clear answer from Nick Barris. We have not been able to get a clear answer from law enforcement. And the only person that's ever talked about the forensics and fingerprints was the stepfather, and that was on Smiley's World. And he basically said, and this was on March 20th, that no forensics were done in the house, no fingerprints had been done, and that was almost a month later. So I'm just trying to ascertain if forensics were done and when those things were done. And why do I want to know that? It's really simple. It's for timing. When we know when the forensics were taken, we can assess how long it's going to take to get results back in. And that's why I'm interested in finding out this information, is because we know that labs take a long time to process information. For example, in Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner's case, oh, thank you, girl next door. God bless you. It took over 9 months to get forensic findings. Over 9 months. I called the DA at 9 months in, and they still did not have the forensics back. I had a good working relationship with the DA in Moab, Utah. While she didn't give me any inside information or anything like that, she did let me know that they had not received the forensics back. You know, the case was still at a standstill until they got certain things in, you know, and kept me informed on the process related to this, because we were having such a horrible time communicating with Lieutenant Kim Neal. When we met with Lieutenant Kim Neal, we brought up Adam. Adam was the person that was ultimately named as the suspect in the unaliving of Crystal and Kylan Schulte. If you don't recognize their name, if you remember Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, they had Brian was slapping Gabby outside of a coffee shop. Well, across the street was the Moonflower. And Kylan Schulte worked at the Moonflower, and she was married to Crystal Turner. Crystal Turner went to go pick her up from work, and that's when they saw the event out there between Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. And 30 days later, the bizarre thing is all four of these people were unalive within 30 days. All four. Even though they had nothing to do with one another, they just crossed paths. And how, you know, I want to say ominous it is that all four within 30 days of crossing paths would be deceased, 3 of which were homicides. So, and one was, you know, self-inflicted. So we have craziness when it came to that, but the co-worker of Crystal Turner at McDonald's ended up being responsible. And one of the reasons why he was never on our list when we went out there, if you guys remember, we had a unalive board. I don't know if I can say the big M word on here or not, but we had like a war board, and we had our ideas of who could have been responsible, but based upon what we assessed from home. And one of the major reasons why we do boots on the ground, you know, not one of the people on our list, they were pretty much eliminated. We were so convinced it was one of these people, so convinced, and we get out there and boots on the ground and do our work. And it was very upsetting, because they were all pretty much removed from our list within 24 hours. And then we had literally about 15 other people added to the list. And one of those people that rose to the top of the list was Adam. And the reason why he rose to the top of the list is because he was homeless. He worked at McDonald's with Crystal Turner, and he immediately disappeared, didn't even pick up his check after the events that happened with Crystal and Kylan. That is what we call red flags. And so we were diving in and trying to locate this man. We could not locate this man. So we took our suspicions to Lieutenant Kim Neal, which basically laughed us out of the office. And then almost a year, maybe a year and a half later, lo and behold, this guy that we, named a suspect was truly the suspect. So, it does tell you a few things that, maybe law enforcement shouldn't be so quick to dismiss social media. We try to really work with law enforcement, especially when we find out information that could be critical to a case of homicide or a missing child case or something like that. That's just one example. So anyways, long story short, we ended up starting to speak to the DA because we're like, look, this guy's he's not taking leads. He's got this, and that's not how law enforcement should be. They should be welcoming of any and all leads that are legitimate leads. We're not like crackpot leads here. We have a reason to have suspicion on this Adam character and this Lieutenant Kim Neal. He's just not entertaining any leads. He's not entertaining. He's mocking people, as a matter of fact. That is a poor look for a community that has 2 homicides unsolved in their community, especially when months later we find out the person we brought to him was the suspect. So that's just a little bit of information, and I'm welcoming of Dog and Nick the Hat, because anything that's going to stop some of this drama, stop some of this misinformation, stop these attacks on Seth Rogers, the biological, the only person searching for Sebastian Rogers. I mean, of course, we have other search parties like, Terry Lynn, private searcher, but I'm talking about true hardcore family members of this boy really putting in the effort to find him. There's only really one person, and that's his dad. And his dad has been heavily involved in his life. He's not a deadbeat father. Well, there was no child support needed because they had joint custody, but he was always in his son's life. He had his son on every other weekend. He had a son for the summer. He always tried to teach his son how to remember directions, how to cook for himself, just life skills the way his dad could teach him. So his dad loved him. One of the first things we heard out of the other family's mouth is that his dad was his biggest rooter on the sidelines. And you know what? At the end of the day, Seth is his biggest rooter still to this day. However, he's not on the sidelines. He's right in the middle of the mix, and he's being clubbed for trying to find his son. Any creator that is hurting this man or disparaging this man is disparaging his son, Sebastian Rogers. If you are part of Sebastian's army, if you are part of Sebastian Strong, you cannot support creators that are doing this to his father. He's the only one from the family out there looking regularly. He is the one that's worked with the FBI to try to raise this $50,000. He's the one that's worked with all of these people trying to do anything and everything he can to find his son. And all we need to know is where, what, how, why, when, and who. That is what we need to find out. So does anybody have anything to say? I mean, right now, the only thing I have to say about this is God bless Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I want to give them as many resources as humanly possible, work as round the clock if needed, to help aid in the search for Sebastian Rogers. We need to bring this home. This is a solvable case. We have to believe in the process, and we have to believe in the work. So I'm asking everybody on this platform and other social media platforms, let's start working to find Sebastian. Let's quit worrying about the clicks and the views. Let's get back to the truth, which is trying to find the location of where Sebastian Rogers is. Anything else is a bunch of noise. It's causing problems in law enforcement. If we really care about these cases, why would we want to be hindering an investigation when we can be helping in an investigation. These are things that each and every person out here on this platform needs to decide for themselves. Do you want to try to help, or do you want to try to hurt? I also want receipts for the billboards. Okay, there was a lot of money raised in Sebastian's name without the permission of, from my understanding, of any family member. Now, I don't want to diss anybody's work, even if I don't agree with them at all, because at the end of the day, if it's true work to help Sebastian, I don't care whether I have the worst personality differences with them. I don't care. I put all my BS aside if they're doing the good for the case. I really don't care about my personal. I could check my personal BS at the door. So if they're doing the right thing and getting these billboards up, they need to be applauded for that, especially in sight, because they've been very disgruntled towards Seth. They've been very disgruntled towards Seth's team. So it's very hard for me to believe that they're doing the right thing all of a sudden. But you know, I don't want to put that onus on that, because again, that's my personal bias. I would like though receipts of where these billboards are going up, because I got to tell you, $22,000 is an awful lot of billboards. We've been running billboards. We had 7 or 8 stationary billboards that have donated Sebastian's flyers up there. We didn't have to pay for them or anything like that, but those were stationaries. Those cost a lot of money, so we're really thankful for those. The blips, like I know that there's been 2 teams that have been running blip. Those are the digital billboard advertisements for months, and they're only up to $3,900. So I'd really like to find out where this money is going, what billboards they're up. I'd like to see the billboards around the country. And I know that it takes, you know, time to get that stuff up. But again, I want receipts. I think everybody on this platform should demand receipts. I'm very grateful that they did what they did, and that these billboards should be going up soon if they are not already going up. But I would like to know where they're at. I would like to see them. I think that the people that donated would like to see them. But again, this was a donation drive that was not sponsored by any parent, and it was in the missing child's name. So it's like, you know, it was, in my opinion, if you're going to do something like that, you should either have one set of parents approving it or the other set of parents approving it. Just in my opinion, I wouldn't be raising money in a child's name without making sure it's going to that child's family, or a nonprofit, and provide those receipts. That's why I don't do these type of things. If we do them, it's all above board, and it's something that everybody can see and feel and touch, and it's, you know, that's just how we roll on YouTube. So just be cognizant of that. I'm interested in that. I don't want to dog them, especially if they're doing the right thing. I just want to see that they're doing the right thing because of my personality conflicts with them. Just me personally, and I didn't donate, so I really don't have a lot of room to talk, right? It's for the donors that donated to the cause, that need to make sure that their money is going where they said it was going to go. That's just all I have to say about that. Again, don't want to dog. I love the fact that people want to do the right thing, and if they're doing the right thing, nobody can beat them up for that, whether we like them or not. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you, Chasen. God bless you. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to bend your ear too long. I just want to say there's $100,000 reward. There's 100,000 reasons for us to be active and get out there. I think we need to, it sounds like the 5-mile radius around the home has been thoroughly searched, okay, period. I think we need to start searching outside that 5-mile radius. I think we need to pay special attentions to bridges and water. The good news is Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter believe this child's alive. God bless them for that. I hope they run down those leads. On the other hand, for me, I'm focusing on a different area of searching for this child, and I really think we need to keep it to waterways and bridges. And you know, some bridges have like service roads that go under them, and it goes to a very private area where nobody can see from above. If we know of any places like that in and around the Sumner County area, that would be very helpful to know as well, because we have 390 bridges in the Sumner County community that need to be cleared, in my opinion. And those, I've looked back, and it seems to me the one thing that's really lacking in this case is water searches. We've had water searches, but not extensive water searches. And I really want to amp up that. Terry Lynn is amping up land searches. And then we've got Dog the Bounty Hunter that brings a wealth of investigative knowledge and skill, along with Nick the Hat. So I really think that this is going to start really producing something, and getting this information out would be awesome. So guys, if you can, go out, get this information out. Everybody asks what they can do to help. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of this. They don't have a lot of that. The good news is there's not a whole lot that I request from everybody, but if everybody just printed one flyer and went and put it on their post out in front of their home, that is the biggest help you can do. If you want to honor this boy, maybe make a green ribbon and post it on that pole. And if you really want to honor further, maybe get a green light on your porch and turn it on at night, just to honor Sebastian Rogers. So if you don't have much, but you still want to honor this boy, you still want to do your part, those are 3 suggestions that will make a difference, that would truly make a difference. And another thing is whenever you see something interesting on social media, get it to somebody that can get it to the family or the FBI or something if you think it's interesting or needs to go and be looked into. These are all the things that everybody on these platforms can do to help. So get over there, sub up Nick the Hat. He's on X, he's on YouTube, and I really think that he's going to be able to bring the facts to this case, because they are so convoluted right now with all the misinformation campaigns across multiple platforms. It's hard to make heads or tails of this case. The facts are limited, but the limited facts we have are robust. So we can definitely utilize those in helping us locate Sebastian Rogers. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to me at Bullhorn Betty. If you have any information you need me to see, or you would like to get to these people directly, you can reach out to Bullhorn Betty. You can go over to their pages, give them the information directly, do whatever you need to do, or you can directly reach out to the Memphis FBI office and provide them your tip and lead. Again, $100,000. This is life-changing money, and somebody has information out there that will lead to the whereabouts of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and I hope that person or persons come forward. God bless, take care, and we'll see you soon.